What is going on, everybody? I am very excited today because in the very near future, I'm going to be bringing a new NASCAR Racing 2003 career mode to YouTube here, and a bit of a different style here. So, really excited to get into this. So, we're going to be starting in the 1989 NASCAR Winston Cup season, and we're going to be role-playing a little bit as fictional driver Richard Dangler. Going to be starting off driving for a single-car fictional team here. I just quickly threw a paint together. So, we're going to be in this green and white, sleek-looking number 89 Nucor Buick. Of course, again, in the 1989 season. Maybe we will drive for a real team eventually. I haven't decided about that yet, but for now, this is the ride we're going to be in. And yeah, we're going to be racing through the 80s, through the 90s, into the early 2000s. Just very interesting time period for NASCAR with a lot of change. So it's going to be interesting to kind of live through that here. So obviously, starting off in the late 80s, we're going to be racing against the likes of Darrell Waltrip, Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty is still out here, Davey Allison. And then, of course, into the early 90s, we're going to experience the rise of Jeff Gordon, as well as the rise of these big teams that still shape the sport today. Penske, Roush, Joe Gibbs, Robert Yates, I'm sure is going to have some good seasons through this career mode as well, before they kind of fold up shop. And then, into the late 90s, early 2000s, we're going to start to trickle in these names that have really dominated the sport the last 20 years. You know the names: Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth, Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson, all these types of guys. So, going to be really interesting to see what happens in this alternate universe that we're going to be creating. So, basically, that's the overview, and now kind of get into the details here. So, how's this going to work? So, we're going to be doing 50% race length. My favorite series in iRacing is the NIS series. I love these nice long races. It makes me really feel like a NASCAR driver. And so that's what I want to recreate here. So nice long races, going to be a test of my endurance, and I'm going to have to be consistent, and I can't make mistakes. And that's going to be important because I want this to be a challenge as well. So I'm going to be messing with all of the track.ini files to each track that we go to make sure that the racing is competitive and as realistic as I can get it. If I'm going to get a good finish, it's going to have to be hard earned, and that's the way I want it to be, because that's the way it is in real life. And speaking of tracks, obviously we're going to be running the real schedules that these drivers went to in each of these seasons, and we're going to be running the track configurations that they were running in each of these seasons. So that means when we go to Atlanta, for the first several years here, we're not going to have the dog leg. So I'm excited to race on old Atlanta. Little throwback vibes there. So that's going to be a ton of fun. As far as the ratings go, for the AI, I'm going to be using N ratings here, and the formula set I'm going to be using is AI Line Mod V3. So I've heard good things about these. I haven't ran them before, but it sounds like you're at the end of the season. The drivers you expect to be at the top are going to be towards the top, but should have some decent race to race variance. So might get some surprise winners here and there, which is what we want to see. So should be a fun season, a fun career. So I'm excited to get into this. And then another thing that I'm very excited for is this handy dandy spreadsheet that I've made here. So what we have is each active driver has their own tab, and in here is all of their race results up through the 1988 season. So we're going to be able to kind of track what their career stats are going to be in this alternate timeline we're creating. So here's Darrell Waltrip's career page here up to this point. And so coming into the 1989 season, he's got 73 wins. He's got 3 championships. How many more can he rack up before he starts to fade? Let's see. So Obviously, I'm going to be going through and typing in each individual race result as we go. So let's say Darrell Waltrip wins the Daytona 500 here in 1989. So you can see at the top corner here, he's got 73 wins. I hit enter. It changes to 74. So that's how that's going to work. This is going to continue to be tabulated as we go through. And then at the end of the spreadsheet here, I kind of got this all-time rankings tab, and just kind of aggregates everything. And I did include a lot of drivers that are kind of highlighted in the blue here. As many notable drivers that retired prior to the 1989 season, just so we can see where we stack up to the all-time greats when it's all said and done, as well as where do guys like Dale Earnhardt end up. So obviously fairly early on in his career, only 34 wins to this point, 3 championships. Is he going to get to 7? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and find out. So excited about this. I really nerded. I really geeked out over this. But it was a ton of fun to put together, actually. So if at any point throughout the series you want to know anything about any one of these drivers, what their career stats are, I'll be able to tell you. So yeah, pretty exciting. And how I'm going to be doing the ratings, again, I mentioned the AI line mod. So for the AI line mod, you can use real life data in N ratings, and I'm going to be using a 5-year window, kind of a rolling window as we go. So for 1989, I'm going to use 87, 88, 89, 90, and 91. And then of course, every year that we go, we're going to shift that window up 1 year. And so that's going to capture drivers' performances throughout their career. So for example, as we start off our career here, Darrell Waltrip is going to be pretty good. But as we keep going through the 90s and kind of get later and later in his career, he's just going to fade further and further back. We're going to see a similar effect with Richard Petty these first few years in this career mode also. So going to be kind of a realistic rise and kind of realistic come up as drivers hit the series and improve, and then as they kind of fade off late career. So yeah, it should just be a very realistic career mode overall, and I'm very excited to see just the total stats and all the interesting storylines that are going to build as we go here. So if this sounds at all interesting to you, go ahead and like and subscribe. Want to like the video because that will praise the almighty YouTube algorithm. Gonna get this in front of as many people as possible, because I hope that lots of people are gonna find this interesting. And then of course, go ahead and subscribe, because that way you're gonna know when a new video drops. So yeah, you don't want to miss anything. So yeah, you gotta subscribe. And yeah, so Daytona 500 should be coming soon. Footage you see here is one of the test races I've been doing to kind of dial in the track.ini settings. And they're close. They're really close. So about ready to sink my teeth into this and really get going. And I'm excited to have you guys along for the ride. And I'll see you guys on track.